In this example, let's look at how to use the sum and difference formula for tangents to solve one of the problems in your textbook, specifically number 21 that's on page 678, which is in section 5.2. This will match number 12 fairly closely. That's in your My Math Lab homework. And you'll have to find the exact value of a given expression. So in number 21 in section 5.2, you are asked to find the exact value of the expression tan pi over 6 plus pi over 4. So you're looking for the exact value for the tangent of the sum of two angles. So what you're going to want to do is probably find a table of tangent functions, and hopefully you already have one of those based on the work that we did in previous sections in chapter 4. If you don't already have one, I would recommend that you find one. It'll make your life a lot easier because you can just use it for reference as you're doing these problems. You don't have to continuously reinvent the wheel by solving for these values. So I have one here that I use. I just keep it handy to refer to. And you can just look one up on the internet and print it out and keep it handy. Any one will be fine. You can find one that has all sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant, or you can find one for each individual function. It's up to you. I happen to like this one that I have found because it has everything lined out the way that I like to refer to it. So I'll be referring to this one as we go through this particular example. So let's go ahead and take a look at how to solve these problems. So when we are working with finding the exact value, we need to use our sum and difference formula for the exact value of two angles. And in this case, we're finding the sum of two angles. So the tangent of the sum of two angles equals the tangent of the first angle plus the tangent of the second angle divided by 1 minus their product. So that's what this big formula here is telling us. And we're going to find the tangent of the sum of pi over 6 plus pi over 4. And here's where this table of values is going to come in, because what we're going to do is we're going to look on this table of values and find our exact values of the tan of pi over 6 and the tan of pi over 4. So if we take a look on our table, we're going to figure out what values we can use for pi over 6 and pi over 4 at tangent. So if I look on my table here, and I determine what the value of tan pi over 6 is, I'm going to find pi over 6 in my table, and here it is. And I'm going to find the tangent of that value, and that would be square root 3 over 3. And I'm just going to jot that down so that I know what I'm working with. So the tangent of pi over 6 is actually equal to square root 3 over 3. And the tangent of pi over 4 is going to equal, so I'm going to find pi over 4, that's right here, is actually equal to 1. So instead of using pi over 6 and pi over 4, I'm actually going to use square root 3 over 3 and 1 when I plug into the formula. So the pi over 6 is actually my alpha value, and pi over 4 is my beta value in my formula. So when I plug into this formula right here, what this means is wherever I see tan alpha, or this value right here, I am going to plug in square root 3 over 3. And wherever I see tan beta, I'm going to plug in 1. So my new formula is going to look like this. I'm going to have square root 3 over 3 plus 1 on top. And on the bottom, I'm going to have 1 minus square root 3 over 3 times 1. So I've just replaced everything in this big formula right here with my newfound values of square root 3 over 3 and 1. So now I need to just simplify and find my exact value. So what I want to do is I want to rearrange, and I want to make this look a little neater. So I'm going to swap this around and make it 1 plus square root 3 over 3, just because I think that would be better. but you don't have to. I just prefer that. And here I'm going to have 1 minus square root 3 over 3. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to transfer it to where I have a little bit more room and then pick it up and continue solving. So I have a problem on top and I basically have a problem on the bottom, and I need to combine the problems on top and the problem on the bottom. I have two fractions that have unlike denominators, so I need to have common denominators. So on the top I need to have a common denominator of 3, so I need to convert this to 3 over 3. So I'm going to have 3 over 3 plus square root 3 over 3, and I'm going to need to do the same thing on the bottom. This needs to be 3 over 3 minus the square root 3 over 3. So I'm essentially treating these as two separate math problems here, and I'm just going to simplify. So if I were to keep going and simplify these, I end up with 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3. On top, and then on the bottom I end up with 3 minus the square root of 3 over 3. And I don't really have to write all of this out because things are going to cancel each other out, but I'm writing it all out so that you can see where everything goes and where it disappears to. Now I'm dividing a fraction by a fraction, and if you remember, when you divide a fraction by a fraction, it's actually a multiplication problem. You're going to invert and multiply. You're going to take the top fraction and multiply it by the bottom fraction flipped over. So we're going to take the top fraction and we're going to say 3 plus square root of 3 over 3 times 3 over 3 minus the square root of 3. And what happens is these 3's cancel out, and I'm left with 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3 minus the square root of 3. Now, I cannot have a radical in the denominator, so I have to do what's called rationalizing the denominator. And that means I need to multiply it times its conjugate so that my radical goes away. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom times 3 plus the square root of 3. What I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. You should already be familiar with multiplying times a conjugate. So when I multiply here, I'm going to perform FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. So I'm going to multiply here 3 times 3, and I'm going to get 9. 3 times the square root of 3, I get plus 3 square roots of 3. This square root of 3 times 3, and I get another plus 3 square roots of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is just 3, because it's the square root of 9, which is 3. Now if I do the same thing on the bottom, what happens is my square roots go away, and I get 3 times 3, I get 9. 3 times the square root of 3, I get plus 3 square root of 3. Negative square root of 3 times 3, I get minus 3 square root of 3. Negative square root of 3 times positive square root of 3 gives me negative square root of 9, which is minus 3. Now when I do all that simplification, these two cancel each other out. On the top I end up with 9 plus 3 gives me 12. 3 square roots of 3 plus 3 square roots of 3 gives me 6 square roots of 3. 9 minus 3 gives me 6. We're almost done. I'm going to simplify. 6 goes into 12 2 times. 6 goes into 6 1 time. And I end up with 2 plus the square root of 3. So that would be the exact value of the sum of the tangent of pi over 6 plus pi over 4.